When we experienced in the fall of 2008 the beginning of the crisis, almost nobody thought that in the center of the storm, within few years, there would be Europe. The financial crisis hit everywhere around the globe. It was not only Europe, it was the United States, emerging markets everywhere. The question is, why is it now that Europe is in the center of these present crises? When we look back, I think the most important event which happened was November 9th, 1989, when the wall came down and the global system ended. The global system, which emerged out of two world wars, the so-called bipolar system between the West and East, capitalism and communism, Soviet Union and the US as the two superpowers, leader of the two global camps. This system disappeared, and since then we are in a situation of transition. One of the key questions for the two world wars was the role of Germany in Europe. This shouldn't be forgotten, ladies and gentlemen. And at the end of the Cold War, 1989, 1990, this question reemerged. What will happen to Germany? Nobody at that time could imagine that a global financial bubble will burst as we experienced it in September 2008, but it happened. And the European Union was just in the middle of a process of integration. Yes, we had a currency union. No, we didn't have, and we don't have, a fiscal union, common fiscal policies, and what we don't have is a common political union. If the currency union will fail, don't believe that the common market will survive. Once the currency union will fail, the whole European project will disintegrate. And allow me to say that to our British friends. They know it, that a successful the successful euro is for the future of the City of London as a global financial center, more important than the future of the pound. It's a major challenge, ladies and gentlemen, which we are facing nowadays. Now, I think crisis is also a driving force. You won't have serious changes without the challenges of a crisis. This is the moment, that's my experience, when firm structures became soft and you could model them, you could make progress. So it needs strong nerves, strategic determination, tactical flexibility. But you need strategic determination. I think the crisis would be much easier to manage if the European leaders would be pretty clear about the strategic direction. And this strategic direction, the only answer can be political integration, centralization, a certain centralization of power. I don't want to use diplomatic words for that fact. That's the key element. So from my point of view, you will ask as investors, what would be my advice? Write off Europe? No. I'm firmly convinced, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not telling you that because I want to please you. If I would be convinced that Europe is a failure, I would tell you that. But the price of failure of the Eurozone means to give up the whole of the European project. And this would be an unbelievable historical disaster for all of us. So if you look back to the key moments of the crisis within the last 2 years, you will see once the European car approached the abyss, and the leaders are looking into the abyss in fear and feel the cold coming up of the abyss, they are turning around the wheel and move in the right direction. Therefore, I think Europe will make it.
When you have so many different economies and their health varies to different degrees, how do you politically integrate them, given the fact that you're talking about democracies here who have to keep the people in the forefront of their agenda?
Well, will the life be better for a Spaniard if Europe will be a failure? Answer, no, it won't. Will the life be better and the future be brighter for a German if Europe will be a failure? No. He's not happy or she's not happy to bail out. But that's the same in Germany. We have a federal system. So Bavaria is extremely rich, was poor in the past, in the south, or Baden-Württemberg, extremely rich and successful. And we have in the north, for example, Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, the Baltic Sea region, which is extremely poor. So why should people in the south pay for the people in the north? We have a transfer system, yes, and of course, a common European Union will have transfers. We have transfers, not very big one now, but we will have it in the future too. And we have it in two ways. The common market is also a transfer mechanism.
The question that everyone's asking, I know that you feel that it is necessary for Greece to remain in the European Union, but as your experience, from your experience as foreign minister, realistically, what % do you believe they really will stay within the Union? I mean, how close are they to exiting?
Okay, you asked the foreign minister, the former foreign minister, and I will tell my European countrymen and women, we shouldn't forget the 90s. Remember what happened there in the Balkans? When Yugoslavia collapsed, war came back to Europe, horrible atrocities, war, instability. And why we managed it, not only by the use of force, but by the promise that the whole region will be one day part of Europe. They are part of Europe. I think Greece is not a lost case because they have a fantastic asset, that's tourism. If they invest, if they modernize, if they reorganize, I mean, this asset is tremendously and can create an immediate cash flow if it's done in the proper way. Shipping industry, everything connected to shipping industry, renewable energies, connected also with agriculture. So from my point of view, if you look for investment opportunities, I think Greece is just the opposite of a lost case. The state is a serious problem, but there the European Union is very experienced how to contribute to institution building, because I think the major challenge in Greece is institution building and changing the mindset. Honestly, I have no doubt. I mean, I'm doing a lot of talks, especially in business environment, and especially in the environment of smaller businesses, entrepreneurs with smaller businesses. And it always starts in the same way. People are very angry. We are not paying for them, and stop it, and whatever. They should work harder. But then, at the end of the debate, it's also always the same result. You think we have to do it? No. I think we must do it. What this reflects is my assessment of the German public mood. And I'm speaking only for Germany. I can't speak for France, because I'm not experienced in French politics and the public mood in France. But in Germany, if there will be a vote, yes to the future of Europe, into political integration, including transfers, or no to Europe, 2/3 minimum will vote yes.